box. Use a flathead screwdriver to remove the dead front cover from the unit. Inside, you will find the accessory package. This accessory kit includes the Powerwall Owner's Guide, one 100 amp CT, two labels for when gateway acts as a service disconnect, a 10-foot long 100 amp CT extension cable, and four sealing washers for use when gateway is mounted in a wet or damp location. Determine the locations of the conduit entry, the top, bottom, sides, or back of the enclosure. All knockouts are 3/4 of an inch trade size and can be expanded up to 2.5 inches. It is recommended to use a knockout punch kit if knockouts need to be enlarged. Optional conduit hubs are available for top entry. If using the top entry, remove the cover at the top left of the unit. Install the 1.25 inch or 2-inch custom conduit hub. Use a reducing bushing if your conduit does not match the hub size. If the backup gateway 2 will act as the main service disconnect, remove the supply side lugs and install an Eaton CSR, BW, or BWH series breaker, rated between 100 and 200 amps. Be sure to secure the main breaker with a hold-down screw. If the gateway is downstream of the main service disconnect, remove the ground-neutral bonding strap. If your installation will use the backup gateway as the main service disconnect, leave the bonding strap in place. Mount the backup gateway with 4 fasteners and sealing washers. Refer to the chart on the back of the dead front for torque specs and allowable wire gauges. Connect the backup lugs to the panel that is being backed up by Powerwall. Connect the non-backup lugs to a panel that is not being backed up if applicable. Connect the ground, neutral, and supply conductors. If using the internal panel board kit, install the unit with the 2 provided mounting screws. Screw the breaker hold-down base plate to the panel board. Be sure to land and torque the outer backup load conductors before installing the feeder wires to the internal panel board kit. They will be blocked once the jumper wires are in place. Note that the phase of each bus changes due to the jumper's crossing. Next, install breakers on the busing of the internal panel board. Secure the breaker hold-down bracket in place using the tabs of the panel and the base plate. Conductors cannot be terminated on the breakers until after the hold-down kit is installed. Ensure that all conductors are cleanly routed along the edge of the unit. Do not cross the middle of the unit. When installing a system shutdown switch, remove the jumper between ports 1 and 2 of the auxiliary connector. If not using a system shutdown switch, do not remove the factory installed jumper. Prepare 2 conductors by removing 1/2 inch of insulation. Use a flathead screwdriver to depress the orange tabs on the aux connector and remove the factory installed jumper. Terminate the 2-conductor cable on port 1 and 2 where the jumper was removed. Route the cable to the outside of the enclosure using appropriate fittings. Terminate the other end of the 2-conductor cable in a normally closed, low-voltage shutdown switch. Remove the appropriate breaker slots on the dead front. Test the circuits and clean up all wiring inside the unit. Replace the dead front panel and mount the enclosure door. With all conductors now guarded, move the enable switch on the side of the Powerwall to the on position. When Powerwall establishes communication with the backup gateway, the LED on the right side